Happy 2019. It is finally 2019. 2018 is over. Thank gosh. It was a horrible year. I think a horrible year for a lot of people, but for me it was personally a very difficult, very awful year. So I wanted to do a quick video with a couple of things that I learned last year and a couple of goals that I have for 2019. Lesson 1, you are not your illness. I realized this year that I'm the kind of person who needs a diagnosis. I need to know what's wrong so I know how I can go about dealing with it, and more specifically what I need to deal with. So this year really focused on being a person with a diagnosis. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in like a very freeing way. In that what I came away with was a sense that I am a person who has an illness, not that my mental illness is my entire life. It is very easy, I think, to start thinking about the symptoms of mental illness as just being a part of who you are. And that's particularly true, I think, when you have a diagnosis of a personality disorder. That's one of the big problems with names like borderline personality disorder, which is what I have, BPD. Because there's nothing wrong with my personality. And I know that that's not what it's about, and the borderline is not about being a borderline person, although sometimes I feel like a borderline person. For me, it was about having a list of symptoms that I could tick my symptoms against, my behaviors against, and think, this is my illness, not me. And then I know what to work on. Lesson 2, owning a home feels way different to renting. When we moved into our home in June, I think it was, I just assumed that it would feel like moving into another rental property. I've lived in loads of flats. There are two big differences. One, our house was brand new. We bought a brand new house for a couple of reasons, but the main one was that in order to be able to buy a house, we had to get a government help to buy loan, and you need to buy a new built property. I think that there are loads of issues with the fact that you need to buy a new build property. All of those things aside, you do. And so the only way that we could afford to buy a house was to get one of these loans in addition to our mortgage. And so we bought a new build. Apart from the fact that my husband is drilling holes in the wall like he's drill happy, it feels completely different. I've never wanted to own a home. I've never been the kind of person who like aspires to home ownership. But now that I own a home, I'm like all about owning a home. Lesson 3, and this is one that I wish I had learned a lot earlier, but that I think is a very hard lesson in academia, which is doing things just for your career won't necessarily make you happy. I made a couple of big decisions this year, predominantly for my career progression, and none of them made me happy, and in fact some of them made me actively unhappy. I assumed things that were good for my career would make me happy, at least in a professional sense, and that's just not true. Lesson 4, it's never too late. It's never too late to start something you love. It's never too late to change something you don't love. It's never too late to turn things around. It's never too late. But now, in addition to that, I have 4 goals for this year. So my 2019 goals. Goal 1, publish the blasted book. The book is nearly finished. It is so close. I can almost taste it and I just want it off my desk. I want to hold it in my hands and feel the warm glow of satisfaction of having finished it. Goal 2, and this is another career-related goal, and it's not to defy my decision to not apply for jobs that are less than 2 years in duration or that fall outside the preset geographical limits that I have placed. When we decided that we were going to buy a house, we made a very conscious decision that we wanted to stay in London for a lot of reasons. My husband's job is here, my kids' school is here, but mainly because we love it here. We love living in London, so we want to stay. So I don't mind commuting. I've been commuting for years, but I don't want to commute too far, and I don't want to commute for the wrong job. I also have to come to terms with the fact that these decisions might mean that my academic career is over. And that's terrifying. That is a video for another day, but yes. So goal 3 is a personal goal, and that's to get fit again, to start running again. I really love running. Running brings me so much joy and so much happiness. And in the last year, in fact, in the last 2 years, really, I haven't been able to run because of a combination of not having enough spoons and not being generally fatigued by my medication. The weight gain that my medication has facilitated has made me feel a bit rubbish about myself and my body and being out in public, exercising. But I've kind of made the decision to push all that to the side. I want to get fit, not push the fatigue and all of that to the side. I'm now at a point where my physical and mental and emotional states are such that I am able to start exercising again, and I need to push the I'm too fat to exercise in public rubbish out of my mind. To facilitate that, I have made a pledge to do something active every day in January. For Red January, you can sign up for free below. I'm also using it as an opportunity to raise some money for Mind, the mental health charity, who is the sponsor of Red January. I will leave a link to my fundraising page below. And what else? I've signed up for my local gym's 6-week challenge. So I'm going to be doing that. So my final goal is to achieve some balance. Not complete balance, but some balance. And not work-life balance, but work, family, self balance. These are the 3 things that I think really need my dedicated time. Work, for obvious reasons. Family, because I want to do more fun, active stuff with my husband and my kid in 2019. In 2018, I made a goal to visit 12 new museums or exhibitions with kiddo. We did that in spades. I think we ended up visiting near enough to 25. I stopped counting after 12 because we'd made it. So I want to keep doing more of that. But I also really want to spend quality time with myself. At present, I end up spending time with myself in emotional, mental recovery. When I just get to the point where I just need to be on my own to recharge. And that's not good time spent with myself. So this, I suppose, goes with goal 3, because that will be some of this active time with myself. So that's it. 4 lessons, 4 goals. I'd love to know what lessons you learnt in 2018 and what your goals for 2019 are. Feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you haven't, please subscribe. I'm going to make loads more varied content this year. Some running and exercise stuff, some art stuff, some sewing or being around the home or whatever stuff, some just general, not academic stuff. So if that sounds like, if any or all of those things sound like things you might be interested in, click subscribe, click the bell if you want to get notified, like this video if you've liked it. I always feel super awkward saying all this stuff. And the next video will be my 2019 bullet journal plan with me. So that should be out next week. And until then, bye.